This year on Country Life, we'll occasionally be chatting with farmers around the world. And today, we're heading to Germany, about 30 kilometres south of Berlin. You may have heard about the many protests by farmers taking place around Europe because they fear the loss of tax breaks and subsidies amid increasing costs, red tape and regulations to deal with climate change. The farmers have had some success and forced country governments in the European Union to ease up in some areas. Our guest, who's a member of the Global Farmer Network, joined the protests and last month rode in a farm tractor to Berlin's famous Brandenburg Gate.
Hello, my name is Jana Gäbert. I live in Brandenburg, former East Germany. I'm a farmer on a big farm, for Germany a big farm, 4,000 hectares in total. 1,100 hectares is grassland. We have 970 dairy cows plus corresponding offspring. In 1 year, we have 10 million kilograms of milk. We have a very diverse crop rotation, 12, 13 crops. And we are not just a farm. We have garage, we have a petrol station, we have a small hotel. So it's a very important thing for the rural area. All in all, we have 120 employees. And our farm is a cooperative farm. And they wanted me to manage the dairy part.
Now, Jana, let's talk about the protests because these have been happening all around Europe. Tell me what you did as part of the protests.
So my farm, we went by tractor to Berlin and some others of our farm went by train to Berlin. We wanted to be heard. We wanted to be seen with other farmers. Enough is enough because the last decisions would be so hard that we fear that a lot of farmers have to quit.
You're referring to decisions around the government scrapping the rebates on agricultural diesel.
Yes, but it's not the only thing. They also wanted to have taxes for every machine you need in agriculture on a farm. Until now, farmers don't have to pay this kind of tax. And all in all, it would be $1 billion that the farmers have to pay more. The main problem is that in the years before, were more and more restriction, lower subsidies. And so it was like in Germany, we say it was the drop too much. Lots of farmers work and they don't have enough money to live from farming, so they have another job. And for us, it would be a decision if we have to reduce the employees or we have impacts on our ecology way of farming because the economy is so hard.
I understand the government has made some concessions, but this is not the only thing that you're worried about. There's also the European Union policies that are also concerning you.
Yes, every 5 years we get a new so-called common agriculture policy that's the rule for the next 5 years. And in former years, we got subsidies for being a farmer. It was a little bit different from country to country, but the aim was producing food for the people so that the cost for the people when they want to buy food was low. Now that they put more and more money into nature protection measures, so you have to do lots more for getting the subsidies, and it's not easy to reach all the aims that they want to have. So we have to produce less food. And so we get less money because we are a very diverse farm. We can manage it, but there are some farmers who struggle with the programs. And it's not because they don't want to do something for the environment. It is because sometimes they cannot understand. And sometimes it is like someone decided something, but he is not a farmer and he cannot know that the thing that he wants us to do is not possible to do, does not really work for the farmers. And in our opinion, it often does not fit in the world because we have floods everywhere, we have droughts everywhere, and then we have to reduce our production. So we have the gap for the Europe decisions, and then we have Germany's government adding restrictions or want to have more taxes and so on. And so it is very, very hard. And we lose our ability to compete.
What has been the reaction from the public to the protests? Because blockading roads and even the airport in some countries surely must be inconveniencing people. Are they on your side?
When we start the protest, we were a little bit concerned about the public. And I must say that the public is very supporting. They understand us and they know that, especially in Germany, the farmers are very, very more reserved than in other countries like in France or Netherlands. They know that we are very capable of suffering. So that when we say we have to protest, they support us. For example, the truck drivers come to the protest, bakers come to the protest, more and more professions.
Just to finish, what's next?
Well, I must say the politicians heard us. They changed the decisions of December, not in total, but they wanted to talk with farmers, with the associations. And that is what I always say. The protests were very or are very important to be visible, but we only can solve the problem when we talk to each other, when we go in discussion. That's what happens now. So the next month will decide if we find a good way. So I hope that the chaos was like a storm that we needed, and now we find solutions, because it is important to have measures for increase in biodiversity or for produce on a climate-friendly way, but it must be possible, and our income has to be a better one.
Jana Gäbert, who runs a dairy farm about 30 kilometres south of Berlin.